Hey everyone, it is Brian Koss here, joined by my friend and business partner Sean Casey. We have another call for you on our Wednesday marketing webinars. On this call, we'll basically talk about the importance of having a funnel and how to come up with a good one, and what we thought that we basically do to make it a bit more exciting and a bit more interactive is we'll actually take a couple examples from you guys, so I'm sure there's probably a few of you that want to volunteer. We'll basically take some markets that you're in and you know, some products and stuff, and we'll try to show how you can essentially build out an entire funnel without really having to necessarily do a ton of work. And then after that, we'll also give you some free resources and tools that you can use to further your business as well. Not only to help build funnels and stuff and see the profit potential and stuff that you have, but also some other stuff to analyze your business, and again, all free and whatnot. So pretty cool stuff with that. And as always, at the very towards the end of the call, or I should say about maybe 2/3 of the way through, we'll have lots of time for Q&A. So if there's any questions you have related to anything related to marketing online at all, feel free to ask, and we'll take time to basically answer you. Then you can also, while I'm basically talking, Sean as well as Sharon will be also on this call, and they'll be actually answering you via the text. And then at the end, if there's any questions left, or if there's any that you know, a lot of you have, we'll also answer those live on the call. And at the very end of the call, you'll have a chance to win $100 cash. So stay tuned for that. So without further ado, we'll get this show on the road about why funnels are important and how to come up with them yourself. So once again, welcome to this Wednesday webinar. Again, they're every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're on another part of the world and don't know what time that is, that's right now. So again, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, or right now, I will host a live training and or a Q&A call. If you're here or you're registered for this series, you'll get a reminder each week so you don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll have the recordings in the members area within a day of any of our calls under the training tab on the left side navigation bar. And if you want to win $100, I'm sure most of you are aware of this and have been on lots of our prior calls, but if by chance you're new, every call that we do, someone walks away with $100. And to actually get that, it's super easy. You have to make sure to first join our free Facebook group, which you can join by going to that link right there. I'll just forward to the Facebook group. It's just getwebfire.com/FB group. If you're not a member, you can join. It's free, and Sharon usually will approve you within like a couple minutes. You know, if you basically sign up right now, and at the very end of this call, she'll have a post up basically asking what you thought, you know, of today's call, and you'll have a chance to win $100 that we'll explain in just a bit. So pretty fun stuff right there. So now we can move on to our training for this week on funnels. So a good funnel can be the difference between making a huge profit or losing a lot of money. Now, what is a funnel exactly? A funnel basically is a pathway of different sales offers that you basically present to a lead or a buyer of yours. Like it might be you give a free report away, or you sell like a $7 book, and then you'll have an upsell where they could buy, you know, a related product that might help them, and then you might have another upsell or a downsell from there to buy even more from you. And again, a lot of people lack these, but if you have a good one, it can make a massive difference between making a lot and losing a lot. And sadly, I would actually estimate that probably 95% or more of businesses or people do not have really that great of a funnel. They might have a basic one, but they don't really have a good one that will maximize the amount of money that they could make. And in fact, they say of those, probably 80% or more don't even have any kind of funnel at all. So they don't have any upsells or downsells or anything other than they're just their front-end product. And they're losing a lot of money on that. In fact, I just found out completely at random, there was a guy I helped about, I think it was probably maybe a year ago or so. He basically asked me how I thought he might be able to make some more money for his business, and he had a decent business. It was I don't know exactly how much it was doing, but it was probably making somewhere in the six-figure or more range. He had a handful of employees and everything, and we talked a bit about upsells and what he could offer, and he basically told me without even trying, and I didn't hear from him for like a long time, but I just found out about like a week ago. He said without even trying that since he implemented just a fraction of what I suggested, he actually boosted his sales by about a third without having to get any new clients. And he also admitted that if he implemented everything, that he probably would have doubled sales. He just hasn't basically taken the time to do so off that. So again, there's a lot of money being left on the table, which is why we thought this was an important call to have. Which is why today I want to show you how to create some better funnel or upsell plans from scratch using a couple examples that we'll create live, including some from you guys if anyone wants to volunteer. And we'll get to that in just a minute. So here's the brief overview. First, we'll basically talk about how to create a funnel and why they're important. Then we'll do a live example of that. We'll even take some feedback and stuff from you guys, and then we'll have some free resources, some free software actually that you guys can play around with. Then we'll have our Q&A where you can ask anything you want, and then we'll do the cash giveaway at the very end where someone will walk away with $100. So first, moving on to the funnel part. So having even an okay upsell path should increase your sales by at least 30% or more. In some cases, it can be a lot more. In some cases, it might even double your sales or more. And this can include upsells and downsells. And ideally, you want to have around 3 different offers, ranging from cheap to more expensive, including reoccurring ones. Doesn't mean you have to have all those, but you can have like one cheap offer, one reoccurring offer, and one more expensive offer. Again, it's not a big deal if you don't have all 3 of those, but the more you have, the more chances you have of making more money. And it doesn't have to be perfect or complicated either. A lot of people think, wow, that's a lot of work. I went through all this trouble to create one product or service. Now I have to create like three more. You're overthinking. Because again, once someone buys from you, you have their trust, you know that they like you, they've gotten basically a credit card out for you once, or they gave you their name and their email once, so they're far more likely to buy from you again. And you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of time on these products. For instance, one guy that I advised a ways back, he had an online product. It was an ebook, and he thought, man, I don't have time to create upsells. He didn't know what they'd be worth. So I said, well, how about you just offer 1 or 2 weeks from now, offer a free, or not free, but offer a webinar training, and you sell that as an upsell where you give some of your best tips away. And I said, and then once that's done live, just make that a recording or like a replay available and sell that. And he's like, people won't buy that, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, because they already like you, because they already bought the product initially, they're far more likely to buy. So he then said, well, I don't have time to make a fancy video, or I don't have time to hire a copywriter to make a really good one. And I said, well, it doesn't have to be great. Just get in front of a camera, and then shoot yourself basically talking for a few minutes, or make a PowerPoint and basically record your screen for 3 to 5 minutes or more, and basically explain what your offer is and why they should take action on it right then. So he reluctantly did just that, and the sales offer he had, on the upsell looked like crap. He looked insanely tired. His eyes were bloodshot red. It was one of those where like he looked high. Now he wasn't high, but he looked like he was honestly high. And he had like a real lack of energy, and he didn't really explain the offer all that well. And after he made it, he was almost embarrassed to actually post it, because he's like, dude, this won't make any sales. And I'm like, okay, it's not the best job. I think we can all admit that, but I guarantee it will make some sales. Well, it turns out it actually made a lot of sales. It made him a lot of dough. I forgot the exact percentage of sales that it made, but it was quite high, because he had like a front-end product for like, I think it was around like, I don't know, like $17 or so, and he sold this upsell for I think like either 47 or 67. It was several times the price of his main offer, and it turned out that a huge chunk of all the money that he made came from the upsell, which he didn't even do the best job at. And it just went to basically show that even if you make an offer that isn't a perfect offer, people will still buy. And the offer that he made was one that he already knew, the tips and the training and stuff, and he didn't even have to make it then, because he promised it in like a couple weeks or so, that he just have a live call where he would record it then. So again, that's one easy upsell. You can also have like a Facebook group as an upsell. You can have private email access to you as an upsell. You can have more tips or a more advanced course as an upsell. You can have services as upsells, like if you sell, let's say, an SEO service, you could have an upsell where you make sites, or you have like a lead service or a PR service. And even if you don't want to do that stuff yourself, you can easily find guys online that have those kinds of services. Like even look on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. You can find all sorts of guys that sell all sorts of services. Find a few that might match up and sell well to your guys, and make like a white label version of that yourself, or sell that basically as yours at a much larger markup. So again, don't overthink how complex this has to actually be, because it can be quite easy to actually make, again, all sorts of products. You could even, if you're selling a product on, let's say, almost anything out there, you could do basically an interview with an expert. You could transcribe that and offer that as an upsell. Again, don't overthink this at all here. There's tons and tons and tons of ideas, and we'll get to even more ideas in just a bit. And with that, what I wanted to do is, rather than just basically talk about it, I want to basically teach you as we go through some live examples as well. So to start with, what I thought that we would do is, if there's anyone in the audience right now that has a market that they're in and has like a product that they sell, whether it's just one product, or if you have an upseller or whatever, feel free to say that. But if you can, write it out in the chat right now. Say what the market is, what the product or the upsells are, and what the price points are of that. So I'll give you guys maybe a minute to write that, and I'll pause the screen as I switch on over to the live part, or to the live example part, I should say, because of course this whole thing is live. All right. All right. All right, I see a couple of you saying I have a product with funnels. That's great, but if you want me to do an example of it, make sure you basically tell me specifically what the product is, what the price point is, and what upsells you have, and I'll use one as an example. Or even if you don't have an upsell, just say it. All right. Okay.
Also, while Brian's switching around, guys, yeah, like Roman just did, if you're going to do this, you got to do it all in one message, because some of you are
Yeah.
sending like 5 separate messages, which are intermingled with the other 25 messages of other people, and it makes it impossible to put them all together visually. So if you did send like 4 or 5 different things, please just combine that into one message and just drop it back so Brian can see it. It'll be way, way easier.
All right, so what I'll do with one, and again, if you don't have any upsells, that's fine. Just make sure to tell me what the product and the niche is and what the price point is. So the first full example I saw, Sean, was one that said they had some Facebook marketing videos. So let's start with that as an example, and what I'll do is I'm going to switch my screens over. We actually have a tool which you guys will get for free. I'll give you the link to get access to it for free. That helps you build and map out basically like visual like mind maps or visual funnels that you can see the entire process, and I'll show how all that works. And again, it's free. I'll give you a link to it in just a bit. I'll have it up on the screen so you don't have to worry about that. But let's start with, let me see, who was it that said the Facebook? All right, there's a bunch of comments here. All right, it looks like Parish, I might be saying your name wrong. All right, so Facebook marketing training videos. Can I ask, is this like how to do paid ads on Facebook, or is this just how to do like how to like do like fan page stuff? So if you could clarify that really quick. All right, so the price point is about $10 or $9.97. All right, he says no upsells as of yet. Set of 4 DVDs, which you might want to have be live on the site versus shipping them. All right, so you didn't say yet if it was for Facebook ads or just on Facebook itself.
Teach us how to do Facebook ads.
All right, yeah, so let's just do the Facebook ads to start with. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, he says Facebook ads. Okay, cool. All right, so for the front end product right here, let's say, you know, ebook on Facebook ads. And his price point is $9.97. And do you know roughly what your conversion rate is, or you want to guess it? If not, I can, you know, we can make up one. All right, so it looks like you didn't write yet, so you might not know. Let's just say, for instance, all right, let's say, for instance, okay, in fact, what I would do to start with, because you have such a low price point to start with, you know, typically what tends to work out in a good funnel like this, if you have some kind of a free offer to start with, just to get them in. So what I would do is I would say maybe create a front end which is free and have it be you know, best tips for Facebook ads, and have that be, you know, free. And in that case, you'd get a huge amount of people opting in to grab the free guide if you target that all right. So in this case, you know, let's be conservative here, and let's say you get, you know, about 1/3 of people to basically opt in for free. So we click add right here, and we get that. And then let's say we want to have an OTO, which is a one-time offer, or basically an upsell. And let's make the OTO the course that you have now, ebook on Facebook ads. So this could be, now that they have a quick report, and it could even be like a newsletter or like a 1 or 2 page report that you have that just gives them, like, you know, the top 5 tips, or so, you then say, hey, it's great that you have this guide on the top tips right here. If you want a complete walkthrough on how to, create Facebook ads and run those well and make a profit and blah blah. For $9.97, you can grab it here for a limited time or for like a half off deal. Where again, for a $10 offer, that's more of like an impulse buy. And because they just opted into your list, they basically gave you something of value to them. They gave you their email. So they basically indicated, hey, they like you enough to give you their email, and psychologically, they tell themselves at that point, okay, well, I trust this guy, I like this guy, and they're far more likely to then fork over a little bit of money. So in this case, you're only asking for $9.97. So again, not bad. And let's say the conversion rate of that, I don't know, let's say maybe you get 1 out of 10 that sign up, or let's say even less. Let's say you get maybe let's say 8% of those that give you their email will then say, hey, I'll take you up on this offer here. So you'd add in that, and then you would want to have, like, let's say you want another upsell there, and in this case maybe you have some over-the-shoulder type training, or let's say, better yet, you can create a webinar where it shows them over the shoulder of you creating a Facebook ad and you walking them through everything, including advanced stuff. So in that case, we can say live, live or recorded or a replay. Let's say Facebook ad webinar. And in this case, you'd want to charge more because, again, it's over-the-shoulder training, it's advanced stuff. So let's say in that case, let's do maybe $47, and you can have like a good, guarantee on it where, if they don't like it, they can get their money back. Really push hard, saying, hey, this is like really awesome live hands-on training, and let's say 5% of the total, but by that, or let's say even less, let's say 3, okay? So you have that right there. And then let's add, let's say that they shoot that down right there. What we could do instead is we could add a downsell there. So for the webinar, let's say that they can't make it live, or what you could do instead is that, hey, say instead of $47 for having the privilege to attend live, we'll do the same thing, but it'll be just the replay instead. So you'll get access to the replay instead of attending live. So in that case, instead of $47, let's charge $27. Now, a lot of people might say, well, gee, that's a pretty good deal. That's almost half off, not quite half off, but they don't want to attend live anyway, so they think, sweet, that's an awesome deal there. And let's say of that, again, let's say we get another 3% to take that. So we have that downsell. And then let's add one more OTO. In that case, let's say one thing that you could do to have a high-end one is you could have a done-for-you service where you actually make them their Facebook ad, and you set up and make them the Facebook ad yourself. Now, in this case, this is one that you could charge like a recurring fee to. So I mean, you could do like $497 a month or $1,000 a month, or whatever price point you want. Let's say done for you Facebook ads. And let's charge $497 right there. Of course, a lot less people will jump on that offer. And let's say in this case, just for the sake of this example, we don't have to say that's per month. It could be just a one-time fee to set up there. So obviously, you'd have a lot less guys that would take advantage of that right there. So let's say you have even less than 1%. Let's say you have, I don't know, maybe half of a percent take you up on that, or let's say 1/3 of 1%. So you don't have a lot of people at all that take advantage of that. It's 1 out of 300 people will buy that from you right there. And that would basically be that right there. So we have, you know, our funnel right there. And then you'll see right here where it says backend. That's what you consider the backend value of those leads or buyers to basically be. So in this case, since these are free buyers, the value of them isn't as much as if it, you know, if everyone bought like the $10 product, the back end value of those leads would be worth a lot more. But in this case, let's say that over time, after they buy the initial upsells here, let's say over time with, you know, the fact that you can email these guys additional offers, let's say each lead is only worth $2, which is again quite low. We're just trying to play conservative here. We say done, and we have a funnel, and you can see the whole thing again starts with a free report.
Hey Brian.
Yep.
Before you explain this funnel, let me ask you a question. Okay. For the OTOs, for the one-time offers.
Yep.
Okay. For some people didn't know what OTO was, but so make sure everybody knows what that is. When you look at, so somebody comes in for free and you get the opt-in rate, and then somebody in the first offer is, you know, 8% of the leads buy the book, which is all good, okay?
Yep.
But then when you get to the Facebook ad webinar for $47, doesn't this system that you're using do the math based on that one-time offer is going to be based on the percentage of actual buyers who took the prior offer?
It's based on the.
So in other words, if 100 people buy the ebook, then of those 100 people who buy the ebook, like 25 of them are going to buy the Facebook ad webinar. So it's 25% of the prior OTO that gets.
No. It's based upon the percent of basically the front end lead.
Okay, that's why I wanted to ask because I always think of it when I'm writing these out without this software. That's the way I think of it is. Okay. So you're saying 3% of the initial leads who go through the front end will buy the Facebook ad webinar for $47.
Yeah,
okay.
Which again.
No, I'm not arguing with your number. I'm just making sure which percentage it is and making sure everybody's clear what it's a percentage of.
Yeah. So what this means is if you get, let's say, 100 people to visit your squeeze page, we're saying, like in this case, a third of them would basically opt in to this offer right here, and then of those third, you know, the 8% will take the $10 offer. So so you don't have 8 out of 100 visitors buying. You'd have 8% of 1/3, you know, of the visitors buying. So I mean, it's, you know, it gets less and less as time goes on right there. But you can get like a general idea of what all it is. And keep in mind too, you know, I'll show this live, and I'll show how even if we play around with the numbers, even on a very conservative or a very generous conversion, you'll see that there's still a lot of money to be made with a proper funnel right there. So let's say right here, to start, we can click here. Let's say we get 1,000 clicks, okay? In this case, we'll say that the clicks are free. We can change it up to see what it might be if we get paid ads and stuff. And with a conversion rate like this, you'll see that with 1,000 clicks, that would make about $2,200 right there. So again, some pretty good dough based upon that. And even if we, like, let's say that we have even less of these guys buy. Let's say that only, here we can click that. Let's say that only 1% take the $47 offer. And let's say in this case, you know, that only 5% take the $10 offer, right there. Again, we can see there's still a good amount of money to be made, even on a fairly conservative model right there, and that's based upon 1,000 clicks. Now, what we could also say is, well, what happens if we have to pay for those clicks? Like, let's say we're doing Facebook ads. So let's say that you're paying $1 a click. Okay, so we say $1 a click there. So you spend $1,000, but your profit would be $788. So if the cost is 0, you'd make about $1,800. If your cost is $1 a click, you'd make a profit about $800 right there. And of course, you can play around with the models as much as you want right there. So you want to basically enter in the numbers that are most accurate for you, and then add additional upsells and downsells, and see what can happen with the more upsells that you add, or if you work on your conversion rate. Like if we increase, like let's say right here at $1 a click, we're making about $800 right there. But let's say we tweak this. Let's say we work really hard and we boost the conversion rate of the free offer from 33% to 40%. Well, what takes place then? In that case, we have a profit that basically jumped up close to $500, or no, close to $400 right there, just based on a simple tweak. And let's say that we, get a few more guys to buy this offer right here. Again, let's go from 1% to 2 right there. Again, you see more dough being made each time. But even if we do go conservative and just say 1 out of 100 people that opt in buy that, and let's just say maybe 2% of those buy essentially the downsell there, you can get still a pretty good amount of profit at spending $1 a click. And the reason why a lot of people fail is if they only have a front-end offer. Okay, and let's say you're selling the $10 product. Okay, so let's do some quick math in our head, because the person on this call right here said right now they only have the front end product. So if you get 1,000 clicks and you're selling a $10 product, in that case, because these aren't leads that have opted in, or anything at all. In that case, you're just trying to sell a front-end product by itself. The problem with that is you're losing a lot of leads. So there goes a lot of value right there. And then, for every 100 guys to your page, it's kind of hard to sell them on a $10 product right off the bat. You might convert like a couple or like a few percent or so, but let's say you get very lucky. Like let's say you have the best sales page offer out there, and let's say you have really good ads, or a real good list or anything like that, and let's say you have the same 5% conversion rate based upon the visitors, not the leads. In this case, it'd be like 3 times as good of a conversion rate as what we have right there. But based upon that, you still wouldn't be making all that much right there. So I mean, conservatively, let's say you get 3% to buy a $10 offer. So basically, for every 100 clicks that you get, you'd make $30, which means for 1,000 clicks, you'd make $300. Now that might sound like, oh, that's not bad. That's $300 right there. The problem is that's if you have free clicks. If you're paying $1 a click, you just lost $700, and you don't have any leads or anything to show. Yeah, so again, it kind of goes to show that if you don't have a funnel that's all that great, you can be losing a lot of dough. And if you have one that's basically better, that you have multiple products to essentially offer, you can turn a not so great offer into one that makes a lot of money. And the name of the game here too is, if you have some really high-end offers, like right here, if you have a done for you ad offer, you don't need to make a lot of those sales to make a decent amount of dough. Like you might have 1 or 2 buyers that make you go from making like an okay amount of breaking even to actually making a pretty big profit, because you were able to give an offer to those guys. Because the ironic part that a lot of guys don't understand is, if someone gives you like $7 or $10 to buy an offer, you don't know if they would also give you $100 or $500 or $1,000 for a related service or a related offer. And if you never make the actual offer, you have zero chance of making anything additional from that guy. And you'll always have guys on your list in different situations or essentially cases and stuff where several oftentimes are looking to buy additional stuff from you. But if you never make that actual offer, they're never going to pay you. And oftentimes they say if you just brainstorm additional things that you can offer, usually you can come up with a list of at least like 5 to 10 things very, very easily. But you can also just survey or basically ask your clients or ask your customers or your visitors and stuff what they're also interested in. And you'll find oftentimes they'll tell you exactly what they want or exactly what they're most interested in, which can be a great way to make more upsells and stuff. Let's do maybe one more. So Sean,
hey Brian, before we get to one more, let me make a comment. From some of the comments, I think some people think that we're like trying to sell you this or sell you this system or sell you something, but we're not. We're just using this as examples for things, and Brian's going to tell you where you can go play with this mind map software for free, not a trial, just free. So for those of you that are trying to figure out, like, get all the details because we're trying to sell you guys stuff, don't panic that you're missing the details because we're going to sell you stuff, because we're not selling you anything. We probably should, since some of you are clearly ready to buy, but we're not. You'll just try to hold back your disappointment.
Well,
okay.
If you want to pay me for a free software, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I would not turn that down.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, again, guys, this is all free. You're not being sold anything. We'll actually give you the links to all this for free. But Sean, I see there's a lot of comments and stuff. If you see another example, feel free to shout out that, and we can go through maybe one more, even if it's like a completely different, completely out there model or niche.
Okay, so a couple options. So we have somebody selling film editing equipment with prices ranging from $50 to $5,000. There are no upsells. He just sells the equipment. Okay. Somebody else who's selling memory foam mattresses with a cooling gel layer from $499 to from $500 to $3,000 in round numbers.
Okay.
Let's see what else. We got somebody else selling. Sorry, I'm translating. Somebody who's selling the training on how to buy real estate with other people's money, who has a free ebook offer into a call, which is presumably is a training call that's excuse me, 200 pounds, and then a seminar that's 497 pounds.
Okay. Should we do the real estate one?
Sure.
All right, so I'll start over here.
And that's Shahid.
We'll actually start. Okay, so you said, here, I'll just remake this from scratch. So what is the front end offer again, Sean? You said
the front end offer is how to buy real estate with other people's money.
All right, so let's do a lead offer on, we'll say, tips for real estate investing. And we'll say that's a free course, and let's say, again, a third of those guys opt in there. And what's the main offer that he sells? Oh, yeah, that was a course on...
Yeah, there's a $200 course, or well, we'll do it in dollars, and then there's a $497 course.
All right, so the main so the main offer he has is the $200 one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just say $197 right there. Now, obviously, the only downside with this is that your conversion rates, if you have a higher price right off the bat, the conversion rates will be a lot less. You usually have to gain a little bit of trust first. So that's perfectly fine not to have like a lower end offer first, but realize that the conversion rate goes like way down. But let's say let's say you get 0.5% to take advantage of that. So 0.5. And then we'll change this one, and it looks like he has another course that he sells for $497 or so, right?
Yes.
And I'll just say this is the more advanced course. I'm not quite sure what the difference was, but we'll just say that. Now the conversion rate on this will be obviously like a lot less. So let's say, you know, it's only 0.1%, which is again quite low, but I don't want to have it be like you know, too high or anything like that, or unless if he knows approximately what the conversion rate is, we definitely can do that. In fact, let's say 0.2 because that does seem real low. Say 0.2. Now, and that's the end of the, or there was an event too that he had, right?
Well, there was the $200. I mean, I'm assuming as he said it's a call, but I'm assuming it's a course, and then a $497 seminar.
Oh, okay.
So we have a $200 product,
okay,
and then a $497, or call it $199, whichever. But
all right. So in that case, okay. So let's say a fourth of a percent to take you up on that right there. All right. So what he could do, so if that's basically his funnel right there, minus that, what you could do instead is if they say no to the seminar, what you could do as a downsell is you could get videos or notes from the event, up to you which one you want to basically do. And in that case, let's do a downsell of, let's say it's $47. In that case, that's a pretty good offer because it's like if they turn down the event itself for a tenth of the price, they can get the notes or the videos from that right there. So the conversion rate is probably decent there because they think, wow, this is a pretty good offer, pretty good value right there. So let's say, you know, 2% jump on that. You'd probably get more that basically take that than the front end offer because of the price. So we'll just say that right there for the downsell. And then we could also add an additional OTO. I'd encourage you to add more beyond just that because what you're basically doing is you're basically alienating a lot of people on your list or the list that you're basically building. So right now you have the course on how to buy, and you have a seminar, but my guess is what they have to travel or fly to, you know, get to this. So a lot of people right off the bat might be very interested, but might say, you know, hey, you know, I really can't, you know, make that, but they possibly could make like a webinar training series or stuff like that. In fact, that wouldn't be a bad upsell here or a bad downsell either, is to have like essentially a webinar if they can't make that. I almost like that more than the videos or the notes. So you could add in, you know, a webinar training. You could also add in like software or some kind of offer where they don't have to travel. So maybe there's like a software that can help them find the best of the best deals. So you could do, you know, some kind of real estate investing software. In that case, let's say that price point, we'll say it's $297 right there, and let's say again only 1 out of 300 people buy that. So we'll say that. And let's say they turn that down. What you could do at that point is say, hey, why not do a trial where instead of paying the $297, let's say they get a trial of it where they can try it out for, you know, a month, and in that case, let's say you only charge them $10 or so to try it out for, you know, a month, and then after that, you know, they basically keep it. You know, they can, you know, or let's say $1 instead, actually. So let's say, you know, you charge $1 for essentially a 30-day trial, and you know, if they keep it, then you charge the full price right there. So we're not even counting the number of people that might, you know, basically keep the software after a month where you make even more. But for a $1 trial, you should get probably a decent amount of guys to take you up on that right there. So let's say 5% jump on the $1 trial right there. Add that as a downsell. And then what you could even do is you could try to think, this is a lot of offers to start with, but what you could do as one more, just as an idea, you could also have a way for them where you basically tell them what some of the best real estate deals out there are. This could be, I've seen, a marketer I know had one example where people would pay her 25 grand to hop on a bus where she would have the best of the best deals basically picked out. She'd have the management basically taken care of. She'd have all that done, and you just have to point at the homes that you basically wanted that she already knew the numbers on and everything. And people love that, and they'd buy multiple homes at once, and they gladly paid the 25K right there. Now, obviously, that's a lot of extra work. It might not be as easy to implement, but you could easily do, maybe like a newsletter or some kind of offer like that, where each time, or like each week or each month, you basically present them with some of the best deals out there and how you found that. So let's say in that case, let's call this done for you real estate investing, where you present them with new offers, each week or each month, or anything like that. And in that case, we'll charge $4.97, which sounds cheap for that kind of offer right there. Again, let's say only a third of 1% take you up on that, or let's say even less. Let's say only a tenth of 1% take you up on that right there. That could be a lot of extra dough. And keep in mind, let's say that's per month, but again, we'll just look at month 1 for right now. And again, let's say in this case, we'll see what the free traffic would look like here. In this case, we have a decent amount of dough just off of free traffic right there. And this is based on, fractions of 1% conversion rates, and it does not include any of the reoccurring back-end, money as well, which could be made off of that right there. And even if we charge a buck a click to do Facebook ads or anything like that, you're still making, again, a decent amount of dough right there. So a $1,200 profit off of, again, $1 a click. But again, you don't have to have like necessarily tons and tons of upsells. But again, I encourage you to have at least 3, and that's 3 paid upsells. So in this case, we have the free offer, and then we have 4 main upsells right there. But even with just 2 or 3 of them, you're still making a decent amount of money right there. Like even if we eliminate some of these, you're still making a lot of dough. And you want to think that for any kind of product or business that you have, what can you do to sell more? Like, what are some additional offers that you can basically do? Like, if you sell SEO, can you maybe sell some blogs to them, or some articles, or some videos, anything like that, or lead service? There's lots of stuff that guys are willing to actually buy and want to, or even asking clients, especially high-end clients. Like if you have a guy that is paying you a lot of dough right now, you can ask him, hey, what other needs do you have? You'd be shocked at the number of guys that will basically tell you exactly what their main issues are, what they're looking to solve, and what they're looking to basically pay for to solve that. And oftentimes you'll see that because they have a relationship with you to start with, they're far more likely to buy from you versus essentially a stranger that they don't know, they never signed up for the guy's list or anything like that. So one other thing, guys, so this again is a free thing that you can get access to, and I just want to show it really quick too. We also have, so we have a walkthrough on how to use it right here. But we also have some saved mind maps as well. So if you want to get like an idea of what an offer might look like, but you don't want to make them from scratch, you can start with an existing one. So if you have like an info product and it's like a low price point to start with, or if you have like affiliate offers or products, or if you're doing like a coaching offer, you can click on any of these that you want. Let's say that you're essentially a coach. You can click that, and then it will load up essentially a coaching offer where it kind of walks you through a model like that, where in this case, I have 10,000 clicks as the example right there. But it kind of walks you through, hey, you could have a front end of some free training or a webinar. You could have an OTO where it's a free consultation. So again, and OTO doesn't necessarily have to charge money. And then you could have, again, a coaching offer, and you could have a mastermind offer. Essentially past that, you can get an idea of the kind of money that you can make with these right here, and you can play around with what you'd want the value of those leads or those offers to essentially be. So hang on one second, guys. So that was essentially my daughter just walked in. She wanted me to sign for a package, so all signed for and done. So yeah, so that's how. And if you want to just be like an affiliate, like let's say you don't have an offer, you can click on the affiliate offer right here, which kind of walks you through, what you could do there, and you can basically map out what the affiliate offer is, and write in the amount that you'd get paid, and then run through essentially the numbers. Right here to see what that works out to essentially be. So this is kind of a cool, neat way to play around with like your own businesses or ones that you want to basically make. Like I've seen a lot of guys that they'll have like a $7 offer and nothing else, and they don't really understand that the standard conversion rates, like even if they have an awesome offer that converts really well, if it's only a $7 offer, you don't make a lot of money, especially if you pay for like any kind of paid ads or anything like that. You can lose a lot of dough. So you can kind of map it out and see if your business model makes sense to start with or not. So how to get that for free is we actually have another tool which you'll get for free too that I'll walk you through really quick. You can go to bizfire.com/survey, and I'll give you these links again in a second. And this basically gives you a survey that will help basically analyze your business and stuff. And you just take essentially the survey, like it says, hey, do you have an existing business? Yes or no, or yada yada. So you just click on whatever it is. So in this case, I'll pretend like I'm an offline business. We'll ask if you have a website or not, and based upon the questions that you essentially answer, it will analyze your business and give some tips and stuff. How much traffic do you get each month? Let's say, in this case, let's say that we're like air conditioning repair service, or better yet, let's say we are an animal control business, because I actually had a bat fly in through the chimney a few days back, which was not fun to catch. So I'll use that as an example. Let's say their average conversion rate is, let's say they get maybe, I don't know, 5% of people that go to their site to take them up on their basically offer to get rid of bats and stuff. Average price point, $99 is their initial price. And their upsell, they sell a service to kind of block the bats and seal up stuff. We'll say that's $597. Oh wait, no, this is the price of the highest offer. So the highest one that they have is for $5K. They do a bunch of stuff, whereas the initial upsell they have for like about $600 or so. For the upsells that they had, they really only had one main one. On average, let's see, how much you typically sell of your upsells on average. Their main upsell was like $600. I don't know how many take that, but let's say half that have the bat inspection take them up on the offer right there. So So in that case, let's say, so if they sell it for 600 and half, basically take them up on that. They make 300 extra. They have, probably one main front end offer. Do you have an email list? I don't think they do. They don't have a blog, or don't post on it. All right, so basically answer a bunch of questions, and then it gives them kind of a summary right here. Like it says, hey, not including upsells and stuff, they're basically making close to $5,000 a month. By increasing their upsells, they could make about $5K more. By increasing basically the targeted traffic or the amount of traffic, they could make a lot more. And by trying to target higher end prospects, where again they have a service where they'll basically insulate the attic a lot more, and it's like $5K a pop. If they target that a lot more, they could be leaving $50,000 on the table each month, simply by not going after those guys as best as they could. And then what this does, it gives a breakdown of like a bunch of tips based upon the answers that they essentially gave right here. Like, hey, it says that you said that your problem was you're not ranked well. Well, here's some ways to help with that, and it gives them links where they can click on and see certain tools and stuff that would be of interest to them. So it explains how they could have a nice site that could look like that. And again, just walks them through all sorts of stuff right here. So you can use this for your own business if you want. Right here, it says like, hey, we recommend you have at least two to three upsells, because it said in this case, in the example, they only had one. And each time it not only gives you some tips, it gives you resources and suggestions to get some additional info to help solve those issues that you have right there. So that's another free tool that you guys can get right there. And the cool part is too, if you want access to the mind map part, we actually have, so in this case, you don't see an actual ad here because I'm logged in, but if you were not logged in, you would see an opt-in field right here where you basically give your name and your email, and then you get a free account that would go to the login area, which would log you in to this area right here. That I'll just pause this for a second, and it would sign you in just so I can get my password and stuff in there, and it would take you right here, and you just click on the mind maps and you go right there. So again, the first time you go through the survey, at the very end, it'll just have an opt-in thing at the very top where you can get some additional free software, which is the mind map maker or upsell maker right here. And yeah, so feel free to use both of those. So I'm just going to pause the screen for a second. I'll give those links out again in case you missed that. So no worries if so. All right, so the first one to take the survey, you go to bizfire.com/survey. That takes the survey that you can use both for your own business or for another business. Doesn't matter if you have an offline one or an online one, or if you don't even have a business. It walks you through some additional separate, essentially, questions and stuff there. So the results that you get at the end are basically tailored towards you, so you can get a lot of helpful and useful info right there and see some cool suggestions and resources and stuff to help with all of the issues. And once you take the survey at the very end, you'll see the opt-in ad at the very top to get the mind map software. And if you enter your name and your email there, it will send you the login details. You can log in then at bizfire.com/members. So after you take the survey, you'll see an opt-in there, and that just creates your account. So you basically enter the name and the email that you wanted to create your account with. The reason why we have this is because we have to have a way to create accounts. Obviously, you're already on our mailing list and stuff, so this isn't to get leads or anything. It's just a way to create the free accounts for you guys right there. Then you can play around and create funnels and stuff, as well as see some existing ones that we have in the examples there. And there's also a walkthrough there, so if you get lost or anything like that, you can always go back right there. So again, you might want to jot down the first one, bizfire.com/survey. Take that, and then at the very end of this survey, again, it has an ad at the very top where you basically enter your name and your email, and it creates the account for you, and then it will email you the login to that, where you basically enter in your login details at the /members link right there. So again, both those are free. Yeah. So with that, we'll move on to the Q&A part. So if there's any other questions or anything like that, you can feel free to ask those now. And with that, guys, too, after we do the Q&A, we'll give some cash away. And to participate in that, if you go to the Facebook group, which again, if you go to getwebfire.com/FB group, it will forward to the Facebook group. If you're not a member, you can join right now for free, and you'll be approved within like a minute or so. Sharon has a post at the very top, basically asking what you thought of today's call. You can leave any comments you want, and we'll pick a random winner from one of the comments in just a few minutes time or so. So make sure you leave a comment right there, and try to leave it within Sharon's post towards the top, basically asking what you thought on today's call. There's always some that post outside of that, which makes it more hard to keep track. So again, try to have that post within the post right there, and I'll actually show you what I'm talking about right here. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those. I'll just show off where to leave the comments really quick right here, and then we can get on call. So it's just right here on the Facebook group. You see her post right here that says, how did you enjoy the call? And you just leave a comment within that right here, and we'll pick a random winner in about just a few minutes time. So with that, again, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask that. And Sean, if there's any questions that you've seen or anything like that, I know you've been answering a lot of guys in the background and stuff, but if there's anything that pops out or stands out to you, or any other additional questions, feel free to ask those, and we'll try to answer them.
Sure. So a lot of good comments. Everybody loving what you did and what you showed them. And again, this is all free to get access to BizFire. And as Brian said, just go through and follow the steps and pretend you set up anything. Answer anything you want to. You can do it 100 times. Changing answers doesn't matter. But when you get to the end, there's an option to opt in. Just opt in. You're on our list anyway, so it's not like you're giving away the state secret. But when you do, you can get access to set up the MindMaps account that he just showed you. So here's a question, Brian, that Francis had, which I lost. Oh, there it is. For the WebFire WordPress plugin, after you use it for a customer, Francis is asking, do you remove that or do you leave that in place?
He's basically asking, I think, if you would leave the plugin for a client. Yeah. Once they have the actual plugin on their site, you'd want to leave that there, because that's what helps basically optimize their WordPress site in that case.
Yeah. Sorry, and now we invited people to ask questions, and everybody did, so the screen's moving faster than I can read. And I read really pretty fast. Okay. Great. Someone wants to know who thought of the BizFire name. I will take credit for that.
That totally was not
the BizFire domain. So I'm going to take credit for that part. I didn't have anything else to do with creating the tool. That was all Brian, but the name, that was all me. Yeah, for those of you guys that missed a lot of this and need the replay, yeah, we'll have the replay out, posted probably later tonight in the members area, but definitely by morning. So we've always got that. You're always covered. No problem there. Whoops. Bobby, send that question into support, and they'll help you out with that. Julie's asking, do you build these funnels in your autoresponder software? Do you need something like ClickFunnels? Yeah, so for an upsell funnel like that, where you're creating sales and upsells, you'll need to have someone set it up for you, or use a funnel builder or page builder software to do that. And you're asking if ClickFunnels would work for that. ClickFunnels can work for that. But yes, you'll need a way to connect those pieces together and have the series of both sales and upsells together for that. And for those of you who joined the Facebook group and can't post, just hit refresh because you've been approved. Facebook doesn't always update itself right away, but if you refresh, it'll let you go do that and be able to jump in. No, we don't have paid versions of the Mind Map or BizFire. It's just free. All right. Momin says, first time you're here with you guys. Thanks a lot for the great value. Amazing tool. Can't wait for the next webinar. Okay. Loving it. Yeah, Marvin, yeah, ClickFunnels is fine. Whatever you find and seems easy to you to be able to set stuff up. The biggest thing is to be able to get, your product up online and get the funnel and start promoting and be able to do that. All right. So Brian, I know people are typing in comments, and let's make sure you get those in because we're going to be in about 2 minutes and giving away the money, and we'll be wrapping up another great training week. Brian, see anything else that needs answered?
Going through, I think there's a lot of random comments and stuff here. And okay, yeah. So a person asked if they could use the survey on another business. So if they wanted to basically answer the survey as though they're another business, that's perfectly fine. So you can use the survey software any way that you want there. It's just, again, a free tool that we made to basically help. And there's also suggestions and resources on all the issues that it finds at the very end. And of course, the mind map or the funnel maker then is a really neat way to kind of play around with the business and play around with the numbers and stuff to see what's what and how much you could be making. All right, so with that, guys, we'll give you maybe another 10 seconds to leave a comment. And just, again, write that within the post that Sharon made asking what you thought of the call, or if there's any suggestions on additional stuff they'd like to be trained on in the future, let us know as well, because each week we do new and different trainings and such. So again, it's every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We have that. So with that, let's give some cash away. All right. All right, so I'm going to go back to the screen here. All right, I'm going to refresh the screen, then I'll show the screen in a second. All right, so we have, there's a bunch of comments here, which is great, and there's a handful outside, which is fine too.
Edward, hit refresh. Hang on, Edward's going to post a comment. Give him 10 seconds. Say Brian.
All right.
Brian. All you got to do, Edward, is write Brian is awesome. There you go.
All right. All right, so I'll count the ones outside first real quick.
Yeah,
so,
I actually met Edward to write it on Facebook. He just wrote it in Go to Webinar. Yeah, you should be approved and you can get in there.
All right, so all right. All right, so there's 6 outside of that today, and someone's typing right here. I'll give you literally 5 seconds to finish that. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, they stopped. Then back up again. All right. Brian's awesome. All right. I hope that guy wins. All right, so 6 plus 63, so 69 in total. Another person's typing. Again, I'll give you like literally 2 seconds to wrap that up.
But at least everybody's commenting in Facebook and GoToWebinar now that Brian is awesome, so it's good.
All right. Person typing again. I'll give you like a second or two to wrap that up. Try to hit return. All right.
See, Brian is awesome. See, like I said. Okay.
All right. So 6 plus 65, so we have 71 right now. And so 71, let's do random so you guys can see this is
63. Random. 63 is the winner. Watch how good I am.
All right. So let's see if you're right. Generate 24.
I was close on that one.
24. All right. So we count on down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 is right there. 24, Francis. If this is you, or looks like you, and you studied sciences at the College of the Military Royale, if that is you, you are $100 richer, or I should say you will be, as soon as you give Sharon your PayPal email. So just type that in the chat box, what your PayPal info is, and she'll send you $100 over right here, right now, this afternoon. So again, congratulations to Francis Fillion for being our winner this week. And for those of you that are on this call still, again, every week we'll give some new cash away, and we'll do some new additional training and such. So again, I want to thank all of you for joining us on this call right here. And again, if you have any questions that pop up later, feel free to basically go to the members area and click on the support tab that goes to our help desk, or you can write support@webfire.com, and we're happy to answer your questions there as well. So again, it's just support@webfire.com. And again, I want to thank all of you for joining us on this call. Sean, unless there's anything that popped up that you just saw, we can wrap this up.
No, just a couple of people said if we don't get Francis's email, which we did, that they would be glad to throw those in. So always great. All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here, being members, taking action. Go use this software. It's free. It's a lot of fun. You'll get a ton of value out of using it. And you can, somebody's asking, can you use it for different businesses? Can you use it multiple times? Yes, 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 and yes. So go use it, enjoy it, and we will talk to you next week. Bye now.
All right, guys. We'll see you on next week's call again every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to thank all of you. And again, any questions that pop up later, or if by chance anything was accidentally missed, again, just write support@webfire.com. So thanks, guys, and we look forward to seeing you on next week's call. Take care, and have a great week.